Hello everyone, welcome to Technique Tuesday. It's just gone 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon and I'm so glad that you're able to be with us. If you're watching the live, there'll be a little red, there should be, tell me if this is not the case, there should be a little red live button up in the corner that indicates to you that you're on a live viewing, which means that if you're asking questions in the comments, I can see them and hopefully respond to you. The only problem is when I get crafting, I tend to get, totally into what I'm doing and forget to look at the chat. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Because I've been having a few little technical issues and I am worried we may get the dreaded black screen. I hope not. But if that happens, I will try and keep a better eye on the feed today and make sure that it doesn't happen. Hi, Joan. How are you? Hello, Kathy from San Diego. Hi. Hi, Judy. How are you? I see you said it's you're in Kansas, right? And it's 11 o'clock. 11 p.m. I'm assuming. That's a late one, isn't it? I'm very glad that you girls that are in the US can attend because I know it's late where you are, but it is more of a reasonable hour here where we are on the east coast of Australia. So there we go. I see we had Margaret and Marilyn and Sheila all on here very early. Who else was here? Chris, hi. Nice to see you. Oh, we have lots of girls. All right. My apologies if I don't say hello to everybody. I'm so sorry. It's too hard to say hello to everybody, much as I would like to. So I'm just going to say hello to everyone as a group and let's get going. Today I'm going to pick, actually I'm inspired by something new that's coming, and so it was a good chance for me to share something with you, but also focus on a new technique. Well, it's not a new technique, it's an old technique, but you guys might enjoy it, I think. And I want to celebrate the new technique by showing you what inspired it. And it's a brand new kit that's coming. Yoo-hoo! So this is the kit some of you may have seen. It was given to us as a gift when we were in Mexico. And because of that, I have it to show. But it's going to be available to everyone else from tomorrow, from the 5th of June is my understanding. So I'm very excited. I was thinking this one wouldn't be actually out until next month, but I believe it's going to be from tomorrow. So that's pretty exciting. All right, so let's switch over to the desk and have a quick look. There are 2 new kits coming your way tomorrow. We've actually got a lot of stuff coming your way tomorrow. There's some specials. There's a whole bunch of different things. Let me quickly go down to where the comments are coming through. Hello, Colette. Nice to see you. Hello, Lani. How are you going? Oh, Roz is here with her dogs. What kind of dogs do you have, Ronnie? Sorry, it's not Ronnie, it's Roz. My bad. Okay, so I'm going to show you, while you answer that question, I'm going to show the kit that's coming. This is beautiful, this kit. I'm so excited about it, and it is a stamping kit. We have 2. The other kit that's coming is a travel book journal kind of thing that you can add photos to. So kind of like a scrapbooking thing, but it's not actually a proper scrapbooking album. It's more of a journal that you can add photos to. And it's very, very cool. I can't wait to show you that. I will be ordering that so I can show you. A Chihuahua and a Yorkie. Are they friends, the 2? Do they get along? I hope so, because otherwise it's a lot of hard work when your dogs or your cats or whatever animals you have don't get along. I have 2 cats that you'd think that they were actually, next of kin, because they love each other like you wouldn't believe. And that's always been lovely. Since the day Crumpet arrived home, Merlot decided he was his mother and has looked after him like he's his mum. So super, super cute. They're best buddies. Yay, yay. Oh, so you've had different kinds of dogs over the years by the sort of things. Lani, that's not good. Bad mood today. You choose to have a better mood, okay? And maybe this video will help you, okay? So restless legs are yucky. I have that too. But I spray magnesium on my feet this will probably sound crazy, too much information. I spray magnesium oil on my feet before I go to bed, and I don't have nearly the problems with restless legs that I once did. So there you go. That's just my little tip for anyone who has that problem. Cheese is everyone's downfall, Sheila. not just yours, okay? And Leslie's saying she has the same problem. Yeah, restless legs are yucky. I used to get them a lot when I sat in front of the TV at night. If I sat down to watch TV, I would get restless legs and I couldn't sit still. but the magnesium oil has really helped me. So there you go. All right, so let's have a look at this gorgeous kit that is coming tomorrow. I absolutely love it. Okay, and it's got some fun things in it. So it's got this gorgeous, can you see let me see if I can get it close enough to the camera. Oh, it's very difficult to see, but it's like a grain ribbon. Oh, there you go. You can see it there. Can you see it? Like you can see like a zigzag grain on it. You take magnesium drink, Sheila. That's good. That's good. You ladies who are not taking magnesium for your restless legs, RLS, please get onto the magnesium. It's fantastic. Either a magnesium oil that you spray on your feet, or they say you can spray it on your feet or on your tummy and rub it in. But yes, there's other ways to take magnesium as well. Sheila says she takes a magnesium drink. So there you go. Yep, there's a few who've discovered that. We have some beautiful little stamps in here. I always love any stamp that says just a note because I think that is super useful. Then there's one that says wishing you the happiest of birthdays. And this one that says kindly delivered to, that you could add to your envelope. Okay, that's really nice. And then we've got a great little texture stamp here, which I can see having heaps of uses. And we also have these flowers. All right, so I'll show you a little bit about that. There's a Blackberry Bliss ink spot in here. So that's a good color to have. It's a neutral and it goes with a lot of things. And you can see that it's in the design of these. So let's just turn this over for a second and I'll show you. There are 8 cards that you can make in this kit. And it has envelopes with their beautifully decorated envelopes. Absolutely gorgeous. And then there's also the first lot of cards, the first 4, and then the second 4. All right. Now, this card actually has inspired my technique today. That's okay. We haven't started the technique part yet, Marty. It's fine. And yes, giving kitties meds is very important. So you have to do that. Good, Leslie. I'm glad to hear you take magnesium. That's really good. Keep doing it and try taking it in different ways. Magnesium, I spoke to a naturopath about this. Magnesium is one of those things. The best way to take magnesium is actually topically, so through your skin. It's good to have it in, vitamins or other things, but definitely try magnesium oil because it is the best way. Magnesium travels really, really well through your skin into your system. So do try that, okay? And it can add on to whatever you're doing. Now, these cards, can you see how gorgeous? I mean, they're beautiful. And then there's this one's like a wash. This one has the background of the actual flowers and leaves. Okay, this one has like a wash background. And then they turn out, can we see on the front here? This one turns out it's got a gold leaf, and there's some other leafy bits here. You stamp the flowery part. And then this one, the background is already done for you. All you've got to do is this textural stamp behind here and the greeting that goes onto the banner. Magnesium oil, there's actually a few places. The one I've got, I'm just finishing off one I bought when I was in Norway, so that's absolutely no help to you at all. But Salt Lab are a company that make magnesium oil online, and you can order it online, Salt Lab. They are renowned for doing, and I know a few people that use their products and are very happy with them, so you might want to check them out, Salt Lab. I think it's .com.au. I'm not 100% sure about that, but let's just quickly see what else is in here. All right, so there's a block because it's a stamping set, and there's these little gold, I'll pull them out so you can see them better. I don't know how much this kit's going to be yet because I haven't put the product up on the website yet, but tomorrow we'll all be able to see that when we go online. We'll be able to see how much it costs. Look how nice and sparkly these little gold gems are. Aren't they gorgeous? Love that. I know. The kit is gorgeous. It really is. We've got glue dots, these little guys that are on the I actually prefer my glue dots on a roll, the ones that I buy, but these ones you would hook them off with like a pokey tool or a point of your scissors, take them off, and they come off sticky, and then you need to peel the back off the other side. Okay, so they are glue dots. They are sticky on both sides when you peel the back off. Then this little pack of dimensionals. How cute are those? Can you see them? Oh, hang on. It's really hard sometimes. There you go. Now you can see them. And then there's your block in there as well for your stamps. And let's move that. Then here are the envelopes. Oh my goodness, how beautiful are these? There's room here to write, and you can put your please deliver to stamp in there if you want to. And I mean, who wouldn't love to receive an envelope that looked like that in the mail? Isn't that beautiful? It's gorgeous. Ah, what kind of tree is that, Chris? That sounds lovely. All right, so then there's another envelope here. This one's just got a little bit, this one's got more room to write, but it's got a little bit of greenery over the corners and the stamps. All right, and then also in here, there's some other bits and pieces. Here's your banners that you're going to stamp your greetings on, and they're already decorated for you. These are the pieces that go on that wash background piece. See how nice these are. If you didn't want to, I'm actually going to do another video where I show you some alternate designs that you can do with these, because I can see this being good for scrapbooking as well as some other cards and bits and pieces. I mean, look how lovely these are. So is this 2 or 1 sheet? No, that's just the 1 sheet. Okay, and these are like gold pieces that you push out. Okay, really, really nice. And you add those to that wash background as well. Super, super nice. Get rid of those. And then the last thing I haven't showed you is the actual card bases. All right, so here is the card base. Now this one, it has the front and the back. So you could, you know, it's wide inside. You could write inside, put your banner on here and your little bit of stamping, and you could send it like that. Or if you're wanting to be super savvy, you could put this onto a white card base or whatever card base you wanted to use, and you would have 2 card fronts, right? You'd have one that's got this gold kind of lining around border, and another one that you could just use, you know, however you like. But that would get you 2, all right? If you're really wanting to be budget conscious, I think that that's a really cool way to use this. I know. I got to see the travel one online this morning, Maria, and it's fabulous. And that was like on a leader video. So that's how. And then this is the other one that's just got that wash background. Okay, isn't that cool? So you're thinking, well, what's this got to do with Technique Tuesday, girls? Linda, what is she thinking about? I love this look. All right, so this look is like a spritzed watercolor background. Okay, and that's what I wanted to do with you today. Oh, that's another idea. So you saw someone cut up the envelopes for DSP. Yeah, of course you could. You know, we've got envelopes. We've got, you know, 2 card bases here. I see myself doing this one. Now, can I just talk about this for 1 second? These are American size cards. All right. Now, here in Australia, we use A4. All right. And these are letter. This is half a sheet of letter cardstock to make this size. So cards in the US are shorter and fatter. No ill intent meant there, but they're shorter and fatter than they are here in Australia or in the metric world. And so if I was to grab for you, let me just grab a basic white card base. And I just realised that those are all. I do have a whole bunch of basic white card bases, and I just had them out this morning. Where are they all? Here you go. Here's one. All right. So this is our size card base. So if I was to fold this in half, so I just want to show you this. If you want to cut these down to make 2 card bases rather than one whole card that has decorating all the way around, this is how I would do it for the metric people. Okay, you've got your basic white card base here, okay? But when you put this on here, look, it's too wide and too short. Can you see how it's a totally different size? It's not a lot too wide, but it is too short, definitely. So what I would do, let's do one really, really quickly, is I would cut this down. I'm going to cut it on the halfway mark. All right, now you can see how this looks. Now this piece is the piece that is actually too wide. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this, I'm going to bring it in so that this is like a border all the way around here, which means this needs to be cut down probably about 1 centimeter off. So let's cut that. Now it means we will lose a little bit of that edge here. If I wanted to, I could put that back on the inside of my card, which would look rather nice. All right, but this piece now is the right size for that. Okay, so if you take 1 centimeter off the size after you've cut it on that halfway mark, or cut it on the score line, now it's going to be the right size for your card front. All right, does that make sense? Is it good for a plane trip? Absolutely. I think all our kits are good for that sort of thing. Fantastic for when you've got to sit for any long period of time, whether it be a plane trip, sitting in a waiting room, you know, that kind of stuff. It's fantastic for, you know, having to sit in hospital even. You know, if you had to be in a hospital bed, these kits are fantastic because everything's in the box. You don't need anything other than what is in here. The only other thing you might need is a pair of scissors to cut the ribbon. Okay, that's the only other thing, but all the adhesive and everything else is in here. So if you're going to cut them down like this, though, you'll need adhesive to put this here on the front. Now, I haven't even started my technique yet, but I just wanted to give you that little bit of information that if you're wanting to cut these down, that's how much you'd have to take off to make it into a card base. And then you've got the back of the card as well, and we would take, you know, I'd decide where I wanted to take 1 centimeter off that, and I'd do the same thing on the other side. All right, so, you know, same again. Now I've got two card bases. All right, so I'm just going to put those in there, move that out of the way. And what I wanted to show you is this effect that we're talking about that looks like this technique is watercolor spritz backgrounds. Watercolor, what will I call it? Watercolor spritz? I don't know what the right name is, but for this, you're going to need watercolor paper. All right, so I've got a piece of watercolor paper. This is 2.5 centimeters wide. Sorry, 2.5 inches wide, which is around just over 6 centimeters across. Okay, so just for anyone who's wondering, and I'm going to be working on this piece here. Now, I will show you, I've done a whole bunch of samples ahead of time to show you different colors and different ideas, but I'm actually going to use these colors, Petunia Pop, Mossy Meadow, and probably I'm going to use Peach Pie. That's what I did earlier. So I'm going to probably use a little bit of that in the background. And for this, you can use any stamp set, but I find you get the best results with a more solid set. Okay. So, oh yeah, you can't have scissors on a plane, but yeah, that's right. Sheila said you just pre-cut the ribbon. That's all you would need to do is pre-cut that before you get on the plane. Okay. So that's what I would do. So I'm finding I get a better result with a more solid image for this. I will show you a line drawing image as well, but for now, I'm going to just use, this is the textured floral set, and it's got some nice solid stamps. These are a lot more solid, say, than, you know, like, what am I thinking of? I don't know. Maybe, you know, any of our line drawing sets like Enduring Beauty or the Magnolia, those have got line drawing sets. So I'm actually going to use a couple of different stamps with this. And I might go up. I'm using blocks C. And you're going to need a Stampin' Spritzer. Okay, now a Stampin' Spritzer, we have them in our catalogue. Let me just show you this. And while I'm grabbing my catalogue, this is to remind me that we also have going on sale tomorrow. We have bundles are going on sale tomorrow, 10% off. Now, bundles are already 10% off, which means you're going to get an additional 10% off. So effectively, tomorrow bundles, I don't want to say they're 20% off because you're not going to get 20% off the bundle price. You're going to get 10% off the bundle price, but 10% is already 10% less than it was if you had been buying them separately. So in this section here on page 57, we start with these bundles. So anything that has the word bundle, all right, this one, okay, Layers of Beauty bundle, therefore it will be on sale tomorrow, okay? But not punch bundles. Okay, so only die bundles. So this one, the Labeled with Love bundle and the Keeping Tabs bundle, you can choose whether you have die bundles or punch bundles. Only the die bundles will be on sale. Okay, so just bear that in mind. If you are a demonstrator, you're going to get your demonstrator discount off on top of the discount that Stampin' Up is offering tomorrow, which is a fantastic deal. If you're a fairly new demonstrator or you're at bronze level, that means you're going to get an additional 20% off. So you'll be getting actually almost 40% off the price. If you are a Bronze Elite or above demonstrator, which is a little bit higher, that means you're going to get 25% off on top of the Stampin' Up discount. Okay, so that is fantastic. Everything that says the word bundle that has dies will be on sale from tomorrow. Whereabouts online do they show the new kits? This kit isn't up yet, Maria. Okay, this kit will be, and you'll go to if you're on the demonstrator website, I'm assuming you are. You would go to the Happening Now tab and then click on kits, or if you're in the online store, you can just click on kits. Tomorrow, the kit that I have just showed you plus the travel kit should be up because it's the 5th. Okay, so that's the day they're going live. So that's okay, Margaret. No trouble at all. All right, so just remember it's got to have the word bundle and it's got to have dies. Those ones are the ones that will be on sale. So not the punch bundles. And also the other thing, like if you go over here, all of these bundles, it says the word bundle. However, if you come here to the Encore section, which starts on 74, okay, this Encore section, all right, all of these look like they would be bundles, but they are not, okay? They are separate stamps and die purchases. Yes, they match each other. They were bundles in the past catalogue, but they are no longer bundles. Those will not be on sale. Okay, so I hope that clarifies that. If anyone has any more questions about it, please ask. But just remember, they've got to be bundles and they've got to have dies. They're the ones that you're looking for. And there will be a special, I believe there's going to be a special section in the online store for them if you're ordering online. So that's going to make it really easy for you girls who order online. The other thing that is going to be on sale tomorrow is the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines. So if you've been in the market for a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, those are on page, I think it's 56 from memory. Yes, it is. This one right here. Either the large or the small, these will be 10% off as well. Okay, so this would be a great time to jump on and get one of those. If you're a demonstrator, you're going to get your demonstrator discount on top of whatever is being offered. The other thing that demonstrators can order from tomorrow, and I'm sorry if you're not a demonstrator, demonstrators can pre-order the online exclusives for July. They can order those from tomorrow as well. All right, let's do this. I'm so sorry. There's so much to tell you. All right, this will not take very long. It's a quick and easy technique. And I'm using Fluid 100 watercolor paper. Okay, now I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can get it close. Can you see there's a bit of texture to this? All right. The reason I'm telling you this, okay, is because you really want a textured paper to get the maximum benefit from this, and it doesn't work as well on, say, basic white or any other. You really need a watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is designed to hold water, and our paper, it's really good quality, this Fluid 100 stuff. It has a little bit of what they call tooth. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Tooth is the amount of texture. It's the official term when you're talking about watercolor paper or watercolor art. Tooth is how much texture the paper has. If it has a lot of texture, it has a lot of tooth. And that's just a funny little term that that they use in the watercolor world. So I'm actually going to ink up with my Petunia Pop ink. I'm going to ink this up, and you'll see that it just stamps as per normal. All right. Something else I've discovered with this technique is that some colors have a tendency to run and move more than others. All right. Now I'm just going to, I've actually got too big a piece here. I actually don't need this whole length, but anyway, let's just go down that far. I've also got some leaves here, and I'm going to go in with Mossy Meadow. Now, here's the thing I've noticed. Like I said, some colors work better than others. Mossy Meadow happens to be one of the colors that works really, really, really well with watercoloring. And I don't know why, but it runs really great. All right. It's got a really great amount of run to it. So have other colors that do this really well. Pretty Peacock is another one that runs really well. Old Olive runs well. So there's actually a whole bunch of different colors that will work very, very well. Night of Navy works really well. Okay, so some colors work better than others when it comes to this technique. All right, so I've just got a little bit of random stamping there, and then I'm going to close up my ink pad for now. I'm also going to grab myself just a cloth and get rid of that bit of extra ink I got there. All right, so then I'm going to bring in my, actually, no, I'm not going to bring that one in. I'm going to bring in this one that's got some water in it. This is a Stampin' Spritzer, okay? These come in packs of 2, and I highly recommend that you have them in amongst your tools. They are fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to get that one too, Leslie. I don't have it yet, and I really would like it. I think it's going to be a good one to have. I've got a couple that are really great. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be spraying water straight onto the surface of my paper. All right. So you can spray from straight above and go down. You can spray across if you want it to run in a particular direction, but you're going to see straight away that my Mossy Meadow is going to go lighter and brighter, and it's going to run really, really well. The Petunia Pop doesn't run quite as well, but that's okay. So I'm going to go from above, and I'm just going to very, very lightly add some water to this. Now, can you see that my Petunia Pop is running a tiny bit? Look how much the Mossy Meadow is running. A lot more, okay? And we're just going to, you don't have to do the whole thing if you don't want to, but you might decide you want more, and you might decide you don't. You want less, all right? And I'm just going to kind of let that do its own thing for a minute. Can you see that the color is running around in there? It's a really nice look. All right, so if you're someone who likes everything to be precise and clean and neat, this might not be a technique for you. But I really like it. I think it's really fun. And add a bit more water here for my Petunia Pop to run a little bit down there. And I want to show you, remember this card that we pulled out before from the kit? All right, see what what's going on here. See the running that sort of is going in the background there? This is created by this kind of a feel. So that's what inspired today's class. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to grab my heat tool, and you could just let it sit like that and let it do its own thing, but I'm actually going to help it by using my heat tool, and I'm going to push the color around a little bit. So just put my finger down there and let's dry this off. And if you don't want it to go a particular direction, you can kind of choose which way you want it to go by pushing it with your hot air. For me, I love this technique because it's like an opportunity to play, and you just try different colors, you try different stamps, and you see what works best. And you can see how some of that color is just run in different directions, and it looks great. Oh, that's no good, Katrina. I hope you're able to get on the replay. All right, so I've pretty much got this dry. Excuse me. All right, so this is how this is looking. And I hope you can see it's very pretty, and it's totally different to how it was when we started out. Okay, instead of having just like the stamps being random, to me it makes it a little bit more it's like everything is joined together. It's all unified a bit with the different colors going on in the background and flowing from one into another. Isn't that cool? All right, and see what I mean, how the Mossy Meadow has spread a lot more than the Petunia. Even though the Petunia has moved around a little bit, the Mossy Meadow is the one that really does work a bit more here. I don't know why that is. Now, I missed a couple of comments, and I'm sorry. I'm just going to go back up and look and see what I missed. Excuse me. Oh, look at that, Marilyn. Look at Marilyn's given us some really, that's something I've never heard before, Marilyn. Thank you for that. She said, where it runs well or not, or whether it runs well or not, depends upon the amount of attraction between the pigment molecules and the molecules in the paper. I'm going to pop that on the screen. Can everyone see that? I have never heard that before, but it makes sense. I like it. I just know that it's fun to do. That's probably all I really care about. Now, let me show you one I prepared earlier, and I've already made this one into a card, and we might do the same again. All right. So for this one, you can see it ended up, you know, kind of, and then I added some peach pie splatter with a stamp after it was dry. Okay. And I also added the centers of these flowers after it was dry. So, you know, we could do that, or we could leave it as it is. Now, the other thing is I didn't do anything with the background. I just let the color run around, and we could do that here as well. If you wanted to, you could get your blending brushes in and start to add a bit of color in the background. I mean, that would look really interesting. Let me grab, let's see. I have got, let me just make sure. I'm going to grab some Pretty in Pink, and let's just add a little bit of that in the background and see. Now that it's dry, we can do this, and we can just add a little bit like around the edges. Please remove the banner. Okay. I like the comment though. I really like the comment. Thank you, Marilyn, for saying that. That's very useful. I'm just going to add a little bit more of the pink here and there, and it's going to lift this a little bit. I think like just if you like the white background, leave it as it is, but you might decide that you like the pink here and there in the background. I kind of do. What do you think? Do we like this? All right, let me go down. Ah, look at that. Everyone's commenting. That's great. I like that it hasn't run as much too. I like that we've got one running, and then it kind of keeps them a little bit separate. So let me come in here. I am actually going to add a bit more stamping to this, but I'm going to make this a little shorter. I'm actually going to go right through that flower down the bottom there. All right, so it looks like this now. And what I did earlier was I put it onto a black banner to make it shine, to make it pop a little bit more. Now, what do we think? Do we want to add some of these peach pie splatters in the background, or do we want it just like this? I kind of like it just like that. Let's have one a little bit different. All right, so I think I answered my own question there. I'm going to grab some black, and I'm going to cut this a little bit bigger. So about, let's try 7. I don't know if that's going to be right. I can always cut it down more if I need to. Let's see. It does look good on the black, doesn't it? Yeah, that's not too bad. Actually, I might bring it down a tiny, tiny bit. And then we'll make this 14.3, which is half a centimetre longer. This was 13.8. Yep, that looks good. Now I've got a bit of a furry edge there, partly because my my blade needs to be replaced. But you'll find that because this paper is watercolor paper is so soft, it does quite often cut a little bit hairy. And to fix that, you can either use a sanding block, or you can just run your fingernail straight across the bottom of it, and any little hairy bits will just pop off. So let's go like so. I think I will add some flower centers, but I'm not going to add the pecan pie splatter on this one. Now, this is a lot of fun, and you, like I said, experiment with different colors, but I would strongly suggest you get some good quality watercolor paper. If you don't have any, then add the Fluid 100 watercolor paper to your next order. It's not expensive, and it goes a long way. All right, so this is looking really nice. Not sure which way I like it the most, whether I want this one up the top. Oh, look at this one here. It's gone. Almost there's a little bit of purpley tone to that when it's mixed with the water. Can you see that? Super nice. Isn't that lovely? All right. I don't know which way I want it to go. I like both directions, and I like this bit of green. Anyway, this is looking good. I'm actually going to do the flower centers, which are these tiny, tiny little ones. Let me pull that out. And I'm going to put them on a small block, and I'm going to stamp the centers of the flowers with my Blackberry Bliss, which will look really nice against these colors. So once your panel is dry, then you can come in with your details and add those, okay? But I wouldn't do it until my panel was dry, because your detail will be lost. I think I do need to go this direction. Your detail will be lost. Oh, actually that's the wrong way around, but that's okay. I'm going to go this one this way, because that flower's coming down. And let's add that there. Can you see how nice that looks? They look really good. I like it. You missed the start, Donna. That's okay. The kit is called Expression. I don't even know if I said the name of the kit, actually, so thank you for asking. It's called Expression of Kindness, or Expressions. Let me see if it's one expression or lots of expressions. It's Expressions with an S of Kindness kit. Okay, there it is there. So this is the kit that I'm using that inspired my technique today, because this is kind of what they've done when they were designing this. So I think it looks lovely. All right, let me grab my basic white card. Here we go. And this one's going to go straight on here like so, like I did with the other one there. And I'm just going to pop it straight down. And you can see it's a pretty quick technique. It doesn't take a lot of time to do this, but it's well worth it. It's going to give you such an original and different look, and it's your work of art, and we love that, right? All right, so looking like so. I've got a couple of pieces here now. On my original one, I'm going to do the same again. I popped this. Actually, I don't want to pop it right there. Well, maybe I do. And then I had this across. Now I might move that down a little bit. And then I had this across here. So you can have that banner going across wherever you like. I kind of liked it. The only thing is I'm covering up a bit of this, so maybe I don't want to cover that up today. Maybe I just want to use the banner. And you know what else we might do? We might play a little bit of surgery here. We might actually, let me grab my paper snips. I just had an order come in, and I had to use my paper snips to open the box. All right, so I'm thinking, oh, and that could go that way too. I'm using a couple of, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm using a couple of dies from the Unbounded Beauty set. I'm going to make it smaller. And let's have this one coming here and this one coming here. And that way they're going to take up less space. That looks better. That's better, isn't it? What do you think? Do we like that? So this one I used the whole piece. This is the Pretty in Pink glimmer paper that's part of that Unbounded Love. And the Unbounded Love stamps and dies, they are a bundle that will be on sale tomorrow. So so that's a good one to have a think about. And I'm going to use the this is the Unbounded Love stamp set, and then these are the matching Unbounded Love dies. These will be a bundle and will be marked down. We love that. And I'm using this one, I'm calling this this is a Get Well card. So I'm using the what is it called? It says Feel Better Soon. That's what it says. All right, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to do it in Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to add this. There we go. Feel better soon. And then I'm going to pop this. I'm going to have that one and this one here coming out from behind. I think that's rather nice. So I'm deciding whether I want those to be directly behind here or whether I want them to be down flat. I think I want them to be directly behind, I think. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. just going to put, actually, do I want to do it that way? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm just going to put these over the edge here. And then that way they're going to hold it down, but they're also going to be on dimensionals. There we go, like so. And then it's going to need some bling. Now on this one, I added some peach pie bling because I have peach pie stamped in the background, but this one I don't. So I'm thinking maybe, I'm thinking maybe some petunia pop, or maybe some pretty in pink would be better. What does everyone think? What do we think about that one? That's petal pink. That's totally the wrong pink. Not even close to right. The other thing I could do would be add like a neutral, like silver perhaps. That might be nice. Pretty in pink, says Marty. I think you're right. I think that's the one I want. I'm just looking for it. Is it in my bag here, or did I put it? I think it's over on my desk because I used it on a page. I might have to add those later because they're actually, my desk at the moment is this giant mess. Seriously, the biggest mess you've ever seen, because I've been scrapbooking, and scrapbooking, I'm even messier when I scrapbook than when I make cards. If I was going to do anything else, I would use these little silver ones, but I think I'll wait to find the pretty and pink ones. And as soon as I find them, I'll add them to the card, and this will end up on a post, on a social media post. So there you go. They're a little bit different. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think the pretty in pink will work as well. Yes, I agree. I'm just having a little look. Oh, you're going to Ireland, Lani, are you? How exciting. Wow, how fantastic. Singapore, London, Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. I'll tell you what, one little piece of advice I will give you, unless you have to get up to use the bathroom, keep your seatbelt on. That's what I reckon is the thing these days, because goodness me, you hear of people bouncing all over planes because they didn't have their seatbelts on. I know you have to get up sometimes, but try and minimize that, I guess. All right, let me have a little look. Here's a few others I was playing around with. I did some Cheerful Daisies ones, and this is Highland Heather, Fresh Freesia, and Mossy Meadow again. And I think that would look really pretty on a background. And then this one I did with the Flowers of Beauty, which is, have I got those handy? Where are those? Flowers of Beauty. These ones. These. So this is like a thin one. I thought I would get a better result with this one that's a bit thicker. This is here, and you can see the color has kind of run down. And then I came back in after I had done this. I added, once it was dry, I added some of the little flowers, and then I did use my blending brush to add some lemon lolly at the top and some calypso coral at the bottom. So that was a completely different panel with a less solid stamp. Okay, so that turned out really nice as well. Yeah, it's a cool technique. It really is. Now, this one was actually the first one I did, and I wasn't as happy with this one. But just if anyone was wondering, the colors in this are Moody Mauve. There's Petunia Pop Splatter, and then I use Mossy Meadow again because I really like that. And I did try using a bit of Pebble Path, but I didn't like it. But this is, I mean, it's not terrible. I could do something with it. So there you go. You just put 2 photos up on the page for today's Technique Tuesday. Well, we'll have to go have a look. All right, so those are looking fantastic. Now, here's another. I'm going to do one, and I looked at this earlier and thought, oh, I think this would look nice. The Spotlight on Nature stamps. So this one, I thought I'll try it and see how it looks with a more of a line drawing stamp. So this is a less solid stamp. You like the Moody Mauve? It looks good with the Mossy Meadow, doesn't it? So I don't mind it. But what I didn't like was the Pebble Path. I didn't think that was quite right, but I liked the rest. Until I added the Pebble Path, it wasn't too bad. All right, so what I did do, and I'm going to show this to you, was I did this, I stamped it, and then I cut it out with a circle. And this is how this turned out. Plus I did a little bit of, I added some blending, as in blends markers to the flowers, all right? But you can see how this one sort of bled around all over the place. I actually really liked it. Mainly because I think it makes this stamp, which is otherwise nearly always going to be the same, it made it a bit more different. It gave it a bit more interest. So for this one, very similar. We're going to use the same paper that we had before. Let me find a piece that's big enough. Let me quickly grab that. Whoop. I've got stuff everywhere. Goodness me, you guys. Seriously? Here we go. All right, so this is the size of the Fluid 100 paper. If you cut it exactly in half, it's 7 inches long. So if you cut it at the 3.5 inch mark, that panel there is actually a great size to do it on a card front. Okay, it makes a really good card front size if you cut it in half. But for this one, I wanted to cut it with the circle afterwards. Now, this is a bundle. This is the stamps, and this is the dies. And the dies are the standout. I've had people actually buying the dies without the stamp set, but I'm glad I got both because I have used this quite a lot. All right, these are the dies. How good are they? And you've got 3 different designs around the different size circles. You've got like little dots and dashes. You've got like a little floral design. Then you've got like radiating lines that goes all the way around. Okay, those are available in all the different sizes. So from the smallest one, which is about 1 inch, all the way up to the biggest one, which is about, how much is the biggest one? It's probably close to 4 inches. I think it is. So it's, sure, let me take that off and double check that. Right, so the diameter from here to, yeah, just short of 4 inches. Or that would be just short of 10 centimeters. Yep, right around 10 centimeters. Okay, so super, super nice. Now this one here, I use the second largest circle, and I use the ones with the dots and dashes, which is on this sheet. Right, that's the one I used here. All right, so I actually did my stamping and my coloring first, and then once it was dry, I cut it after. All right, so I'm actually going to stamp this one. I've got, here's my lovely big stamp, and I want to show you how I did it. I'm going to use Block E, which is a good size for this particular stamp, right there. And I'm going to ink it up. Now, I used my markers so that I would get different coloured flowers to the stems. Okay, if you ink it up with your ink pads, it's harder to get the colour where you want it. So I find using the Stampin' Right markers, Stampin' Right markers are not the same as blends. Okay, we'll do blends another day. I don't think I've even done a blends technique Tuesday yet, but Stampin' Right markers are just the same ink as what is in an ink pad. Okay, and I usually use, you can see it's got a fat line here and a skinny line here that tells me this is the paintbrush end, the thick end, and this is the fine line drawing end. Okay, so without having to take the lids on and off, you can see which end is which, same as the blends. Okay, the blends do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this thicker end, and I'm going to color all my stems and leaves. So I kind of lay it down on its side and then add, and I mean, this is another technique in itself, markering, where you marker up your different colors and so forth, but I'm giving a little bit of a different treatment today because I'm going to do a couple of different things. I'm coloring all of these leaves, making sure I get all of them, and making sure you want to make sure that these are not dried out. You want there to be plenty of ink on here. And then I'm going to use my Petunia Pop Stampin' Right marker, okay, and I'm going to colour my flowers. So I'm making sure that I give those lots of color. And now I'm just remembering that when I did the original one, I actually added some pumpkin pie, so a nice bright orange, to the ends, which I can still do that. It's not going to hurt the marker at all because it's about the same amount of dark, or as the petunia pops, so it's not going to hurt it. So I'm just going to add some of that pumpkin right to the ends, just to add some extra color there. Now, I'm going to be stamping that on here. If I stamp it straight on, like it is right now, it will work and the color will transfer. However, when you've got a bigger stamp, sometimes by the end of getting to the end of the markering, the first lot has dried a bit. So they usually recommend that you refresh it with your breath by huffing on it, okay? Because we are doing a stamp technique today that involves water, I'm actually going to go one step further than huffing, and I'm actually going to add water to my whole stamp. So I'm actually going, and I'm not going to add too much. We don't want to be too dark, but I'm just going to come above it and I'm going to lightly ink it up. So it's really wet now, and then I'm going to stamp it. And I'm going to hold it down to make sure it gets a really good transfer. And hopefully you can see that it actually is still quite wet there in the middle. Can you see? We've actually got a couple of little water bubbles, air bubbles in the water that has transferred over there. Okay, and it looks rather nice. All right, it's pretty just like that. You could leave it just like that, and it looks nice. You can see it has actually transferred a little bit of the water. Okay, if I had sprayed a tiny bit more, that would probably be enough. But if I want to have that running kind of look like before, then I'm going to do what I did earlier, and I'm going to spray from above, and I'm going to, and you're going to see the Mossy Meadow is most likely going to run more than anything else again, because that's just what Mossy Meadow ink does. All right, so you can see it's kind of doing its thing here in the middle. I love the way this looks. I think it's really effective. Can you see that? The petunia pop's running a little bit. If we wanted it to run a bit more, I can specifically try and add some extra water to the flowers if I wanted to, and they will run a little bit. Now I can chase that around with the, I like how this is looking, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit it with my heat tool and move a little bit, move it around a tiny bit more. And we want this to be completely dry before we try cutting it with our die cutting machine. So it's quite wet here where I sprayed a second time. So I'm just going to concentrate on that bit and get it dry. And by holding it in the light, you can, or having the light hit it just so you can see whether it's still dry or whether it's still wet or whether it's drying. Okay, so can we see how that's ended up? It's a really interesting look. I like it. That's okay, Nairi. Don't ever worry about don't ever worry about being late, ever. What's the yellow spot on your stamp case? Sorry? Oh, I did the yellow spot for all my new sets. So because when I'm looking at my shelves, I sometimes want to make sure I'm using new sets that have just been released so everyone can get a look at them. And by adding yellow dots to those, I can reach for them really quickly. That's what it is. That's all. Nothing else. And then as time goes by and these are no longer new, I'll either take the spot off or I'll change the color for a different catalog or whatever, like, so when the online exclusives come out, I'll probably pick a different dot, pick a different color. Yeah, that just works for me. So I know, that I'm reaching for new stuff. Now I'm going to put this like so. I'm a little bit close to the edge, but not too bad. And we're going to cut that out. Okay, so if I wanted to, if I wanted it to be a long panel, like cut around it, and I would get all the way down to the bottom here, but I'm not too worried. I'm just going to cut that out. So give me 1 second while I do that. And I'll make a card up with this a little later. Okay, so that's how it ends up. Okay, I'm just going to wipe this again. All right, so these are the same, except these ones, I added some blends to the flowers to give them a bit more color. And then I use my blending brush with a lemon lolly on it to color, like just to color over the background there so that it has an extra color. I don't know which one I prefer. I actually think I might like this one better. What do you guys think? Put them up here so they get rid of that glary bit. Which one do you like best? So if you wanted to, there's other things you can do. You can add blends, you can add blending brush, you could add some splatter from another stamp set, or you can add splatter by actually splattering it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things you can do. I'm just having a look to see if I've got, you know, if I have a, you know, you can use your Winker Stella even to color up something. That would be rather nice. You know, if we wanted to color up our flowers, add some Wink. Oh, that looks good. Winker Stella is one of those things that I just love to use, and I use it on a lot of stuff. It will also spread if you've got, you know, the solution in the Winker Stella will spread color if sometimes, so just be aware of that. I don't know if you can see the sparkle on that, but that looks really good. No, I can't really see it. Sorry. It's really hard to see. I can see it, but underneath the camera doesn't always pick it up. So anyway, there we go. You like the one I just did? And then Janine says she likes the yellow orange one. So yeah, it really depends, right? They're all different. So I think that this is a fun technique. Play around with water spritzers and watercolor paper. Remember that our classic inks are all water-based, which means they react to water, and that means they are fantastic for these kind of techniques. From basic watercoloring right through to creating really interesting backgrounds by adding water like we've just done. And I think it's a lot of fun. So to finish up, thank you for the thumbs up, Leslie. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that while you're here. I'm getting really close to my 10,000 follower goal, so that's pretty exciting. It's lovely to have, you know, people watching from all over the world and getting to know people all around the place. So that's fantastic. Just remember, tomorrow is the day. We have bundles on sale, an extra 10% off. We have cut and emboss machines on sale, 10% off. And then we also have our beautiful new kits, one of which I've just showed you. Our beautiful kits are available from tomorrow as well, and they're stunning, really, really stunning. I think this is one of the nicest kits. Well, it's one of my favorite kits ever. Seriously, it's just so pretty, and I love the envelopes. I mean, who wouldn't love to get an envelope like that in the mail, don't you think? I just think they're beautiful. So I hope that you'll look at the kits when you're in there in the online store tomorrow, or send me a message and tell me you want me to order one for you. I think they're fantastic. We have 2 new kits that come out every single month, and this month I think is a really, really good selection of stuff. So you're very welcome, Sheila. I hope that you'll use it. And thank you, Barbara. Thanks everyone who has been in today. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for being here with me. And I'll see you again very soon. I will be back on Friday night. I might not be live. It might be pre-recorded, but I am not 100% sure. Pretty sure I'm not going to be home on Friday night. So you might have to look out for that. I agree, Marty. Marty just said the people are one of the best things about Stampin' Up, and I agree. We have some great people, and you guys are no exception. Thank you for watching today. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.